Rick Robinson here at Zoom into Books. Special edition. We are at the American Library Association 2025 edition and interviewing some wonderful authors here on Zoom into Books. As you know, Zoom into Books is the premier online source for author interviews. And one of the things I love about coming to these events is I get to run into old friends. Now, Rusty, sorry I say old friends, but we've known each other.
Yes.
We've known each other for a while.
Quite a while, yes.
And we first met when you were doing an exercise book, right?
Yes. Stickyman.
Stickyman.
Yes.
I actually bought a copy and I used that for stretching. So tell me about Stickyman. Because it was kind of a unique take on fitness, an easy take on fitness.
Yes. I do home health physical therapy, and a lot of times the seniors get debilitated and they get weak, then they start falling. And the only way to prevent them from falling is to get muscles stronger again. And the unique thing I found out about it, Rick, was I was going up to a patient's home and I heard a little 4-year-old saying, Grandma, quick, we got to get your exercise sheets out. Here comes Rusty. We got to do smack the fly. We got to do the chicken and the choo-choo. And all the muscle groups need to be exercised. And a lot of people can't go to the gym. They're physically not able to. And I closed the generation gap with Stickyman because the 4-year-olds can do them with their 80-year-old grandparents. So why do I advocate for that book and I have a passion for it? It's because I want to keep people in their own home. They worked a lifetime paying for their home, and I want to keep them there.
And it's a wonderful book, but that was a couple books ago.
Yes.
Yeah, you then, this is the thing I love about it, Rusty, you then go into writing children's books.
Yes.
How did you make that jump going from an exercise physiologist to now you're a children's book author, an accomplished, I should say, children's book author?
Yes, I am with the Tattletale Bathtub. It's to teach children about hygiene, and each one of my children's books has comprehensive questions in the back. Because when I was growing up, the teachers would tell my mom she has a comprehension problem. Well, I didn't even know what the word meant. I didn't know how to correct what I didn't know what it meant. So I put questions in the back of the book so the parents can ask the kids, what happened in the book, and that helps so that they can get their comprehension and understand what they're reading.
So I'm somebody who greatly believes in reading to children.
Yes.
And starting very early, my grandchildren get read to several books every night, and it's so important to do that. And I love this idea of there being questions in the back that after you read to the kids, you can ask them what they've learned to it. Now, tell me about each one of the books, and then we'll get to your current one.
Okay. The Tattletale Bathtub, like I said, it's a hygiene book, and it's got questions about, what color was his towel, what kind of character did he make up in the bathtub, and that's like for preschool, first, second graders. And then like I said, the Stickyman movement. My grandsons are using that book to strengthen their arms for basketball, and then my other grandson's a soccer player, and then I do the exercises standing in the Walmart line or putting gas in my car. I can do the standing exercises. And people see me, they're like,
you're who that video was of the Walmart people.
Yeah, right.
You're the one doing exercises in the Walmart line. But so you have that. You have, and then tell me about the other children's books that you have.
Well, I have the Popcorn and Squirrel book.
Love the Popcorn Squirrel. Tell me a little bit about it.
And my granddaughter inspired me for this. She loves squirrels. She got in trouble in first grade for looking out the window and naming all the squirrels. But this book has different activities that the parents can do with their kids. Hunting Easter eggs by flashlight. We actually do that on our farm. Now, I'll hide the eggs. When it's dark, I give them each a flashlight and they go out and find the eggs. It's got where they can make a pie together. But this book is to teach children to be kind to animals. And at the end of this book, it has comprehensive questions too. Like, what's the squirrel's name? What does he like to eat? What did he do with Charlie? you know, and the squirrel becomes good friends with Charlie. And they do activities like sled riding and, like I said, making the pie. But this one has already won 9 awards in the county.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you Mom's Choice.
Choice Award.
Mom's Choice is one of the great. If you got kids out there, if you're a mom and a dad, if you want things to read for your children, looking for unique ideas, Mom's Choice is the place to go. And you're a Mom's Choice Award winner with this book.
Yes.
What other awards this has racked up a few more than just that though?
Yeah, there's it's different festivals like the London Festival. It's got honorable mention at the Los Angeles Festival, honorable mention. I just got one for San Francisco, honorable mention, and there were 4 other festivals that it got honorable mention in, like the Southeast Festival, Southwest Festival. And
everybody's picking up on this and realizing it's a good idea, and I think it's great because you get the ability to tell children about kindness and about kindness to animals, because oftentimes they will see one thing or another. They won't appreciate the value of that life in that animal, and this is just a wonderful way to go there. What inspired you to do this one? You said it was your
my granddaughter Charlie.
Yeah. See, I was the one who would stare out the window and name the squirrels at Ludlow Elementary. So I relate to her. Tell me about her and how you developed that whole line of stuff into a book.
Well, we started going out and actually feeding the popcorn to some of the squirrels. And she was naming each one of them there on the river where we live. And I thought, you know, that's a great storyline. So she actually helped me come up with some of the ideas for the book. She finds the squirrel that's hurt, you know, and she nurses it back to health. And then he decides he's going to be her friend. And she's making a pie one day, and here's the squirrel with acorns. He wants her to make him a pie, so she makes him a pie. She goes on vacation, the squirrel sneaks in her suitcase to go too. So it's teaching animals can be your buddy. You know, they can be like your dogs, your cats. But people have turtles for pets. People have tarantulas for pets. I have horses, I have chickens, I have ducks. I've got about 30 rabbits. They're all pets.
In college, I had a ferret.
Oh, really? And Charlie can really pick up on things that I'm out there feeding him water, and she brought me a duck the other day, and she said, "Nanny, look, the eye's not. It's like it's got an infection." You know, the rabbits. You know, she'll pick out a rabbit that it looks like it's hurt, Nanny, and off to the vet we go. But I just want children to realize that animals can be your friend, you know, and be kind to them. You know?
Rusty, where can I find out more about you and more about these books?
You can Google Rusty McQuade. I am on the internet that way. I am an author through Headline Books. You can find out about Headline Books authors, and they're on Amazon. And I have another one that I published. It's the Greenbrier River Mermaid, and it has a book trailer.
Oh, that's right. Tell me about that book. I missed that one.
Your books are delightful.
The Greenbrier River Mermaid. Who is the Greenbrier River Mermaid?
It is two girls. So it's two girls, strong characters, and there's a flood. They're trying to find a dog. They get in a canoe without adult supervision. They're going down the river. They get tossed out of the canoe. Somehow or another, they couldn't figure out at the time how they got saved from the river, but they do. But then later, they find an injured mermaid, and they're doctoring the mermaid, but they realize they need the vet. But they gotta trust whoever they tell not to tell about the mermaid. And so they keep the mermaid a secret. The vet comes out, and I don't know. I enjoyed writing it because it also, now people are saying that the children are sitting and doing their games. Well, the parents have got to take them somewhere to do something besides sit on the video games. So in the book, the girls go berry picking. They have to gather eggs. They go fishing. They ride their bikes. And it's teaching that there's a lot of things you can do with your children, you know.
Zoom into Books here with my good friend Rusty McQuade. Rusty, it is great to see you again. We are at Zoom into Books, American Library Association 2025 edition, Philadelphia, PA. Rusty, thanks for being with us. Thanks for being on Zoom into Books.
Thank you.